Sup everybody, Dustin from MyFreedomSmokes here today. I'm going to talk about the Triton 2. I was a fan of the Triton 1. Pretty simple, tank, easy to fill, works like an Atlantis, trustable company, good product. Triton 2, everything the same, but better. Right now I'm using this thing wide open. I'm not using one of the coils that comes with it. I went through all those coils and sampling these things. I got some use out of this tank. So, comes with a 0.5 ohm resistance coil. I'm actually using an old coil from the older Atlantises, actually, to just show off that, this thing still works with old coils, so you don't have to upgrade. So if you've stockpiled old coils, or you have a ton of old coils, or you want to, get more oil coils or something like that, you prefer those, they still work in this thing, and they work like a charm. If you like that performance, then this tank is for you. The new coils that come in it do taste better, and they are definitely an upgrade. And I would recommend going with those newer coils if you can. But if you do have like a stockpile or something, it's just as fine to still use those old coils. Do not throw them out. I'm still getting great flavor and no dry hits. 40 watts though right now with the 0.3 resistance coil. I found the sweet spot for the 0.5 that comes in here is 45 watts, and that is the most satisfying vape in my opinion. Can go higher, I just don't like hot vapor, which is why I'm using the 0.3 at 40 watts instead of cranking it up to like 70, which is what you can do with it. Not a big fan out of it. The 70 watts on the 0.3 coil in here, the airflow isn't good enough in my opinion to justify all that hot vapor, but if you love a hot vape, try them old coils, crank that thing up. A lot of people know the Triton because it's the first one that, not the first one, but the first most popular sub-tank that has top fill. So, it comes from a trusted company, and all you do is twist out the connection where the drip tip goes in. The 510 connection just comes right out. See my drip tip, my Dynasty tip is on there. And you just really just drip it in here. Twist the top, and what that does is it opens up the little, holes in the top where you just pour your e-liquid in. And when you're done, just close it back. And another cool thing is when you're twisting this, it opens up this little window that goes straight to the cotton of your coil. So you're not if you're filling this thing up or something like that, you don't have the bottom, you're not gonna pour out all your e-liquid from where the coil would be. That's pretty ingenious, that's pretty nifty. I'm glad they did that because I would make a lot of mistakes because I'm pretty careless. So this is great for someone who's careless. You're not gonna waste any e-liquid with this method. Just screws right back in there. Make sure you close it all the way up. Don't want anything leaking out in case you accidentally put on the wrong setting and lay it down or something. Everything's easy, there's no words on here, nothing to guess. You see on the side right here, there's a picture of a little face vaping, just expelling vapor, and then there's a picture of a droplet, and that lets you know this is how you fill it, this is how you vape it. Can't get any simpler than that. Flavor's amazing, but like with every device, wash this thing out as soon as you get it. Whether it's just with scalding hot water, not scalding hot water, but just relatively hot water, something that's going to, push out anything, that came from the factory, that, basically what you do with any device. Always clean your things. I don't see a lot of people telling people that. Always clean every device you ever get that's going to go into your body. Maybe you don't have to clean your box mods, but clean your tanks, clean your RTAs, all that stuff. Clean everything. Just be clean. You don't know if there's machine oil in here or fingerprints, etc., from any device. Not saying this device has that, but you just never know, so clean it. But, all in all, this tank is pretty good. It surpasses my expectations for what I thought it was going to be. Airflow's great, flavor's great in this thing. It's one tank that in filling up, I didn't get sticky fingers even once. Sometimes when you take a tank off and you start unscrewing it, it starts to separate, the glass comes out of the O-rings, and then you have a handful of juice. I didn't even have a single droplet of juice spilled. It's got a deep little juice well for when you're filling it up, so even if you do make a mistake, it sits in a little well. You can stick a napkin in there, paper towel, wipe that thing up. Or if you just let it sit the way it's angled, it'll just work its way into the tank if you just let it sit for a second, then just wipe off the excess. It's pretty nifty. So this tank is definitely for someone who doesn't like to take their tank off their box mod or their mod or whatever. To fill it, you can put this tank on your device and just leave it on there until you change the coil. I'm pretty sure you can change the coil without even taking it off there also. Just take it off the the base deck or whatever. But if you want to fill this thing up and you're getting multiple fills per coil, just take that off, fill it up, and you're good to go. Just keep a bottle of juice in your pocket. That's pretty nifty. No manhandling or taking anything apart. So definitely get this tank if you're someone on the go, because that's basically what this tank is marketed for. People on the go who don't have time to just take everything apart and work with it. Works great out of the box. All the coils in there. Comes with a 0.5 ohm resistance coil, and I think it comes with a 1.2 ohm resistance nickel coil for temperature control. It's right here in the bottom. Also comes with a replacement glass, because this is exposed glass. There's no metal protecting it. So if you bust it, you got a freebie. And then you have the temperature control coil right here, 1.8. Recommended 10 to 13 watts on your temperature control device. So everything's pretty great with this thing. So definitely give it a try if you're in the market for a new tank, because this one's up there in the quality, their performance, flavor, cloud production. Just the overall vaping experience is pretty on point with this thing. So definitely give it a try if you're in the market for a new tank. So as always, this is Dustin from MyFreedomSmokes with Vape Voice. Thank you for vaping.